this is an important step for us, bringing the media out to talk about some of the big picture projects that we're looking at. Obviously, we've got a lot going on with the additional half-cent sales tax that we're looking to approve for the city of Grand Island. We appreciate the media being out here to be able to come out and view some of these projects, so that way we can get that information out to the voters as well as the residents to talk about the need that we have here.
We've added something in here. There's also some plastic.
It's been on my list since I arrived in Grand Island about 5 years ago. Like I said, we resurfaced the bottom, and at that time we thought we were going to have money to do the walls and the bridges and so forth. We've delayed, and we've still got a few years left, but it's a good 3-year project once it hits my office.
Based upon my experience, I would consider this bridge and this structure to be in poor condition. So on a scale of 1 to 10, if you put 5 in the middle, where it would be average through its lifespan, I'd probably put it at about a 3, maybe leaning towards a 2. As far as imminent collapse, it's not in that condition. It's not something where, even if we had a dramatic environmental event that would happen, this bridge is still going to be structurally adequate right now. It's the near future that we're talking about, and a structure like this isn't something that you can remediate overnight. It takes a significant amount of effort and time and capital to take care of it, so it's something that needs to be planned. There's a lot of lead time in these types of projects. That you've got water coming through, you can see it coming through the cracks, which is why we have those, you could call them stalactites. That's exactly what they are.
Yeah, more concrete letting go from the top.
The water's causing the problems.
All that back.
And the only way to get the water out is to get it draining down properly and get pumped out properly. If we can accomplish that, anything you do out here is a permanent solution. If you don't accomplish that, anything that you do out here is a temporary solution. Where it's actually corroded to the point where it's fractured completely.
It should be draining out, you're seeing puddles here next to the bridge, but it should, if you see a puddle, it should be on that side of the street.
And it's very pronounced on the other side. It's very pronounced, or you can see where the water ponds right at the corner of the bridge. It's very easy to see, and all that water should be going to the east, not coming towards the bridge. We want it away from the bridge.
We've got a pretty lengthy list of projects. In total, there's approximately $240 million worth of projects that have been identified, and with that there's about $135 million or so is city cost share. And so obviously we're going to have to pare down that list, but this is a really good example of one of the projects that will be relatively high in the priority list just from a structural standpoint. This is something that needs to happen, otherwise we run the danger of potentially having to shut this down.
It's fracturing.
A lot of times infrastructure isn't the sexy, flashy thing that everybody gets excited about, but it's a necessity. And so when you drive through this underpass and you take a look and you look at it here structurally and some of the challenges, it's a lot easier for me to run around and talk to people about new ball fields and those types of things because, hey, that makes people feel good. But driving through an underpass or thinking about sewer issues or any of that type of stuff, it's not really the exciting piece of it. But with that being said, it's really difficult to have a thriving city if you have stuff that's breaking down and falling apart all around you.
You hit it right on the head, Mayor, is that this is not sexy. This isn't something that people can get out and partake in, playing in ball fields, taking their kids to the park, going out and doing different things. But it's something that's critical to the community. So it's not a high impact thing in voters' eyes. It's not a high priority, but it's absolutely critical to the voters' lives as they go through their daily lives and getting from one part of the city to another part of the city. If we want to do that, we have to keep our infrastructure up, and it is not something that takes a priority in a lot of cities. As a matter of fact, I would guess in most cities that you are seeing the infrastructure deteriorating more and more, unfortunately. If nothing was done down there, that in about 3 to 5 years, I think it's reasonable to expect that you would see some delamination where you would start seeing pieces of concrete starting to fall on the street below.
I live here, I pay property tax, I pay sales tax. What I try to look at is the big picture and try to figure out what it is that our community needs to do going forward. And so when I'm looking at a lot of these projects, one of the things that's really important for a growing city is obviously infrastructure. We have to continue to build our community, but we also have to take care of what we already have. And if we don't, a lot of these other things really have a lot of pressure on them as we go forward. Quality of life starts to slide. You're absolutely right, though. Nobody likes to pay more in tax. But I'll also tell you, I think people feel okay paying tax so long as they understand what it's being used for, and also that they trust that the people that are making the decisions are doing so for the right reasons.